You know, the Saints have only been around for like a minute, and we've already gained and defeated a nemesis. Not a bad start.
No. Not bad at all.
What negative thing has not been said about this new Saints Row game? Ever since it's been released, I've seen a lot of criticism about the game, and that's fair. You know, the game isn't amazing, and I'm not going to sit here and try to woo you guys into playing the game. The two things that I want to talk about are, of course, the things that I really enjoyed about the game and the things that I just, you know, wish were a whole lot better. Now, without trying to sound like a hypocrite, I am going to give my own criticism. But for what it's worth, I actually did enjoy this game. I don't want to say like the pros outweigh the cons, because that's not really the case, but I had a whole lot of fun just running around, turning my brain off, and just actually playing a game that was so arcadey and fun.
Marshall Defense Industries. We know it wasn't easy getting here. Your journey began with one of the most unforgiving job interviews we could devise. But you did more than just survive a few live fire exercises. You excelled, and in doing so, proved that you were Marshall material.
Here at MDI, we don't just make a product. We make the world a better place.
So to kind of just jump in and talk about the things that I disliked, one of them has to be the lack of creativity, where I felt like all the other Saints Row games had just something so goofy, so stupid, so funny, or kind of serious enough to catch your attention. This game doesn't really do anything really well. I talk about the gunplay not being the best. I talk about the story being okay. We'll talk about that in the other half of the video too, because, you know, as much as I say it's okay, again, I did kind of enjoy it. But there's nothing that this game does overwhelmingly well that makes you want to keep playing the game for that specific reason. What I mean is, other games might have really good shooting mechanics, the guns feel great, they might sound really good, the movement of your character may feel well, maybe just driving around the city like something in GTA could be super rewarding, but there's nothing in this game that you look at and there's not one thing or anything across the board that catches your attention. To explain what I mean by this, the gunplay in this game can be pretty atrocious. That's the first thing I noticed, was it wasn't very well optimized, and I felt like I was playing an old GTA game by just holding down the L2 button and just having that stuff lock onto an enemy and then just spraying them. Now, as the game progressed, you know, of course I figured out a way to make it a little bit smoother or make it feel smoother, but dude, why is there no aim assist setting? You know, it is so strong. I wish there was a way I could turn it down a little bit. I wish it was a little more optimized, whatever it was. The guns were kind of cool, but again, it's not the main focal point, and you can go across the skills in this game. Now, I actually really like the skills. I think the skills are really fun. I think it was a really great addition to the game. Some of them are, of course, better than others, but I really, really wish some of them were just better. Not like they had to do more damage or anything, but there's one in particular. There's a revolver. Now, I think that this ability is really fun and really cool. So you basically just pull out this revolver. It has this automatic aimbot that aims for the people's heads that are directly in front of you. And it is really cool, like I said. But it has a really big problem. It takes a full second to pull out and put back away. And then you have to make sure that all the enemies are directly lined up in front of you, or you won't get the full effect off. Whereas I wish that you were able to just pull out the revolver. It has 6 shots, and every time that you pulled the shoot button, it would, of course, shoot anybody that was nearby. So I wish that you were able just to spray 6 bullets if you had to, and your dude just went crazy with the aimbot. I think that would have been a whole lot more rewarding than pulling it out, having 4 or 5 people in front of you, and it not really lock on like that. Another thing I've seen a lot of people say is that there's some story elements or dialogue that is super cringe. And yes and no, I feel like it kind of all just depends on who you are. To be honest, I did find a lot of this game actually really funny. Maybe not like rolling on the floor laughing, but definitely got a chuckle out of me. Again, I came into this game open-minded with low expectations. I knew what Saints Row was. I knew kind of what to expect, just this goofy game. And then again, just hearing what everyone else had to say kind of just added to that fire of not really caring. So as soon as I saw this game for free on PlayStation Plus, I was like, I have to try it. And as somebody that wanted to spend the $60 on it, I'm glad that I didn't pay full price for this game. Now, with that being said, I still think that this game is worth playing. If you're able to get it for 20 bucks and or for free like I did, there's no reason not to play it. You know, some of the things you might not like would be the things that I listed before, and or the content that comes with this game. There isn't a whole lot. Okay, it's not something that you just sit down and grind 24/7. It took me a week to beat this game. It's like a 20-hour game, way less than that. I did so many different side missions and was just messing around, experimenting with just stupid stuff. And again, just playing the game, having fun, nothing serious. And during those times I was playing the game, I had a lot of fun with it. You know, whether I was playing a competitive game and was getting kind of frustrated, or maybe I just didn't really want to try in any other game, I would just get on this game, load it up, and have fun. There's so many good things to like about this game.
Next, my research said keep your eyes open when you shoot.
Sure. I like to pretend there's a little white dot or crosshairs on whatever I'm shooting at, and then just aim for it, like this.
But then again, there's a lot of things not to like about the game. When the game constantly crashes, or dude, one of the biggest pet peeves I had while playing this game was I had to do a mission 2 or 3 times because I wasn't able to respawn or res my companion. Now that actually was a little tilting because the first time it happens, it's like, all right, I'll do the mission again. And then it happens again and again. And this, dude, there's like a limit to how much I can take. Now, to talk about the good things about this game, one of the skills I actually liked was this wall that you can kind of put in front of you, and it makes it so your bullets can go through any surface as long as you're shooting through the force field. Now, this isn't like the most exhilarating skill. There are other ones that are way more fun, but this is, I think, one of the most useful and something I didn't expect to kind of actually be sort of fun. You know, having those groups of enemies in front of you and them all behind cover can be a little frustrating. So throw that wall up and you don't have to worry about any of it. Then there's also these really goofy animations when you're LARPing. Something, again, that this game just does really well in, with just the stupid sense of humor. But I'm not going to lie, you see this animation once or twice, you've seen it 1,000 times.
Now, you light the beacon on fire.
Another thing I actually really liked about this game was some of the dialogue. Now, like I said before, it's not going to make you crack up laughing, but the amount of times I sat here and actually chuckled, like out loud, and laughed a little bit, and just by myself listening to this game cannot be understated. Of course, my sense of humor is probably stupid. You know, I have like dark sense of humor and just stupid, goofy sense of humor, and this game acknowledges that. For example, there was a part in one of the missions I was going through where we were hunting down this bad guy, and he's just talking about it's about time we finally boss battle this chump, or whatever it was. And I just sat there and smiled a little bit because that is literally every game ever. So this game is kind of making fun of the other games.
Still around somewhere and he's out for blood. Let him come. I'm past ready to boss battle that crap sack.
There was also a part in this game that I cannot express how much I like. Now, again, it wasn't the most cinematic thing ever, but you're just running around throughout the game doing a mission, and all of a sudden they start playing DMX. And it was just so fitting. I was just sitting there vibing. It was just something that I enjoyed. That was pretty much it. You know, I'm just shooting things, listening to DMX. There's a lot of pretty colors and explosions going on. I'm a pretty simple-minded fool, okay? But it was just something that it's hard not to appreciate, especially DMX himself, because he is a GOAT, and may he rest in peace. Another thing this game does pretty well is you'll come across something that you want to use, such as these hover bikes. As soon as I saw them, I was like, dude, they better let us ride them. And of course, after you defeat the guys, you're able to ride them. And that's not the only instance. There's tanks, there's planes, and all these other things. Again, nothing that feels super awesome, but at least they allow you to do it when you want to do it. It's not something that you had to come back later for and do it. Speaking of coming back and having to finish things, there are a lot of businesses that you're going to open that post-campaign you're going to go back and, you know, complete, whether it's for money or maybe you're just a completionist or whatever it was. Now, a lot of games have really great end game content where as soon as you beat the game, you're only really getting started. And this game is an extremely watered down version of that, okay? After you beat the campaign, or at least after I beat the campaign, there was nothing that really gave me an incentive to really do these things, because a lot of the side missions that you go throughout this game, like the businesses, can be kind of repetitive. Now, I wish that there was a new game plus that allowed me to keep my skills, keep my cards, just keep everything, and just replay the game. Like, I did enjoy the dialogue, and I wish I didn't have to replay the entire game from scratch. to enjoy the game. You know, like you get some pretty cool upgrades, you get some nice weapons, you spend a lot of money, you know, making these upgrades happen just to have to lose everything if you wanted to start a new game. I don't really like that. You know, there's nothing in this game that would be so game breaking to start the new game plus. But you know, I'm still grateful that there is end game content. There is a lot of stuff that I can still do. Again, something I'm going to do very casually and just have fun with.
Leave a death threat.
Press 3, of course.
Fuck you. 3.
Sorry, that inbox is full. Goodbye.
This game's so dumb,
Try
bro.
words, back to murder.
Murder can't solve everything.
You shut your mouth.
I'm just saying we'll need
You shut your mouth. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I know it wasn't a super depth review, but it's kind of just my thoughts about the game. If I had to give a statistic score, as a whole, this game's probably like a 6.5. Again, nothing super compelling, but I do have to also add a fun factor in there. The fun factor being like a 7.5 out of 8. You know, there's definitely a lot of fun things you can do in this game. Anyways, I really hope that you guys enjoy. Like, comment, sub would of course mean the world. As always, I love y'all, and I hope you guys stay smooth. Peace.